Greetings! On today's video from JP's Kitchen, Fugazzetta, a delicious pizza slash focaccia variation from the land of silver, Argentina. Fugazzetta is essentially a stuffed pizza or focaccia with cheese stuffed in the middle and onions on top. It's also called fugazza con queso. About 3/5 of the Argentine population has Italian ancestry, owing to big waves of immigration in the late 1800s and early 1900s. And that demographic has inspired the Argentine cuisine greatly. In fact, Argentinians consume the greatest volume of pizzas per capita. But digressions aside, let us get started with the recipe. To start, you will need pizza dough. I am using my homemade pizza dough here, and you are free to use whichever pizza dough recipe you prefer. But you can also use store-bought pizza dough. Next, you will need 1 onion, shredded into strips or diced. I am using a yellow onion here because that's what I had available. However, I suggest you experiment with the onions that you prefer. You can even try it with shallots. Now you can fry the onions in a pan using a fat like oil, ghee, or tallow. This step is optional for a fugazzetta, but I wanted my version here to have like an onion jam, so that is what I am making. With this onion jam, you want to fry the onions for quite some time. We want to caramelize and break down the onions so they become sweeter. So with that in mind, it's important to keep your eyes on the pan to ensure the onions do not burn. Keep sautéing them and be patient. Your attention is invaluable to ensure a delicious end product. This process will take at least 30 minutes. Once the onions have gone past translucent and start to brown, add about a tablespoon or 2 of brown sugar and integrate it into the onions. Once some more time has passed, with the onions soft and caramelized, now add some apple cider vinegar. I am adding about 3 tablespoons worth here. Once you have the onions prepped, we can get started on stretching the dough. We will need enough dough to make 2 pizzas, and you will see why soon. Work the dough into circles with your hands and then use a rolling pin or similar cylinder shape to stretch the doughs. If you want to be fancy, you can also do what the pizzerias do and hand toss the doughs to stretch them. I am not that fancy, so I stick with the rolling pin. Stretching the dough out with the rolling pin is the most cathartic part of this recipe, I would say. Well, that and getting to eat the finished product. Now comes the assembly. Work the doughs a bit more into a circular shape with your hands to fit the pan, assuming you are using a circle pan. Next, add the mozzarella cheese. Ideally, you want to be generous with the cheese here because fugazzetta is meant to be filling. At least in my opinion. Argentine pizzas tend to be quite thick and loaded, and thus very filling. Use about 1.5 to 2 cups of mozzarella. Add more or less mozzarella depending on the diameter of fugazzetta you are making. The amount I've given here is for a 12-inch or 30.5 centimeter diameter fugazzetta. Optionally, you can throw in some fragments or shreds of Parmigiano Reggiano, or Parmesan if you're looking for a discount option. Use the other dough circle you have made to act as the top of this. Work this top dough into a circle shape and make sure it covers the entirety of the bottom dough. Once you've made this cheesy dough sandwich, it's time to top it with the onions. or in this case, onion jam if you've been following this particular recipe. You want to be quite generous with the onions. Make sure they're spread evenly across the top. After adding the onion topping, it is time to bake the fugazzetta. Preheat the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit or 220 degrees Celsius. Once the oven has reached the temperature, insert the fugazzetta to bake. The fugazzetta will take between 20 to 25 minutes to bake, depending, of course, on your oven. Make sure to keep an eye on things so nothing burns. When the fugazzetta has become golden brown colored like here and has a firm texture like pizza, take it out of the oven and allow it to cool. Give it at least 5 to 10 minutes to cool down. And we're done. When you're ready to eat, slice the fugazzetta like you would a pizza. Thanks for watching. More to come in the future. Bon appetit.